Hello everybody, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I am Optimus Prime, aka Optimus Prime, and I'm bringing you another Transformers KO review, Masterpiece review, KO review. This is brought to you by titanonetoys. I bought this from Matt at titanonetoys, and he offered me a good price and fast shipping. Plus he throws candy in with the packages too. It's bonus right there. Today we're going to be reviewing this is the Legendary Toys KO of Masterpiece MPM04 Optimus Prime. This is much like the Bumblebee. Oh gosh. Come to think of it, I haven't reviewed my actual Legendary Toys Bumblebee. So I reviewed the Masterpiece Bumblebee when I got him. And then later I sold my Bumblebee and I bought the Legendary Toys Bumblebee. And it's the exact same mold, except it just looks like a bajillion times better. And this is the same sort of thing. Well, I mean, that and the Bumblebee came with, his hammer, which this version of Bumblebee never actually had. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. But the Legendary Toys MPM04 or whatever they want to call it, LT01 something 02, because I guess this is 01. It's the exact same mold basically. They've copied it exactly. It's got a much better paint job, and I mean like much better. So like I mentioned, I had the Masterpiece Bumblebee, and then I got this, and it just blew my mind how much better this one looked. And all that was changed was just some paint apps. And I never had an MPM04, but I did get myself, I did actually have the opportunity to handle an official Hasbro version. And dude, this is so much better. Whereas the Hasbro version had so much bare plastic on it, bare red plastic and bare blue plastic and bare gray plastic. All of the die-cast pieces on it, here, they were all unpainted. The detailing in here didn't look as good. The fuel tanks here, this half of the fuel tank on the official version is painted silver. This half is bare gray plastic, and you can see that delineation. You can see it in vehicle mode. You can see it really strongly in robot mode, and it just bugged me. And so I never picked that up. I just was not interested in it, but I saw this thing, and I had the Bumblebee already. I knew this was going to be a great piece, and it is. It looks so good. It looks so good that actually I got this in, and basically the same day that I got this in, I decided to sell my my Wei Zhang M01 Commander, because that was currently standing in as my Masterpiece style Optimus Prime. And I think that this guy he does what I want to do better than that one, so I sold it. But actually, interestingly enough, the only piece of bare plastic that's on this entire figure is this blue on his head is bare. It's not painted. But that is basically it, and I have no idea why they didn't paint his head. But it was a couple days before I even noticed. So yeah. Just a fantastic toy, just a fantastic looking figure. It's just freaking amazing. Anyhow, in terms of accessories, he comes with one gun thing here. Again, all painted up in silver plastic. It's got the Masterpiece style tab. This is actually the first time I've ever put it in his hand, because I always pose him with the swords. So that just fits in like so. Make sure it gets plugged into his hand. Maybe this is why I've never done it. It's because it's fighting me. guess it's all about getting the fingers curled around properly. Yeah, there we go. And there he is. And he holds it, and he shoots it, and he points it at things. And, you know, he looks good. It's good, but I prefer the swords. And I knew I would. That's why I've actually never put this in his hand until just this moment. You guys just saw it live. Okay, well, maybe not live, but, you know. Let's pull that out. Come on. Why you fighting me, man? It's because I've got the camera on, isn't it? It's because I've got the camera on. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. Just yank it out. Okay, this may be actually the last time I put the gun in his hand, too. It's the stupid things that give you the most trouble when you're shooting a review. The stupidest things. So you curl his hands into a fist, then you pick up the swords. When you tilt the wrist forward, there's a tab that's exposed behind his wrist. You can just take this, put that into the slot there. And there are his swords. And they look really nice. They're molded in a clear plastic. They've got this kind of translucent, you know, orangish gold here. Nice little opaque silver. A little Cybertron marking on it. Just looks really good. Oh, his face swaps around. I've got him in the mouth mode. But you can lift up his head like so. Rotate this around. And then put it back down. And now he is in the mouth plate mode, and this is basically where he stays all the time because I don't like the face. I like the faceplate. Faceplate looks better. It looks more Optimus Prime-ish. But gosh, they just needed him with a mouth so that he could talk to people. I don't know. Anyhow, I think the swords look fantastic. I also have a 3D printed sword that I should have actually brought that down. I have a sword that I 3D printed for my M01 Commander, but it still fits perfectly in his hands, so he also has a big ass like other sword that I think looks great. But that's not one of his accessories that it came with, so I don't even have it down here. In terms of articulation, his head is on a swivel. It'll go back and forth about this far before it starts messing with his collar here. His head will move up, though it leaves this like big opening in here. So, I mean, you really only want to put it up maybe like this far or so. It's enough to look around and be expressive, but like not have to like. I mean, if you're looking at it from above, then you can move it way up. But there's just kind of an unsightly gap in there. Though it's interesting, there is actually a significant amount of molded detail inside the inside of his neck. But you just, you know, you don't really ever see it. His arms will rotate around about like that on a clicky joint. They'll go out all the way. There's a tab here. Okay, so there's a tab that kind of keeps this in place, but it's really more of a locating tab. It doesn't like lock it in. And there's no lock for that. So you just kind of like gotta hold it. Put your thumb in here in his armpit when you're putting his arm down. This part does flap up and down, and that's it for that. He's got a single joint at the elbow. Gosh, first of all, look at that. Look at all that detail there. That gold and the silver and like the blue. Like, it is hard to describe how much better this figure looks without directly comparing it to the MPM-04. Like, it's really difficult. I'm sitting here like gushing, oh my gosh, that looks better, and that looks better, and that looks better. But like, if I had them side by side, I could show you. You could see that this is awesome, and the other one just has good engineering but a terrible paint job. Elbow moves that much. It's actually really significant. It really has a nice range of motion. It looks really good. Like, this little chunk here kind of like fills in the gap a little bit and makes it not look awkward. Because I've got some figures that their elbows look awkward when they bend. He does not really have a waist joint. I think that I think all the stuff is there for it to turn like a little bit, and I do mean like a little bit, but it's really difficult. It's really hard and doesn't really do much for you. So I just basically figure it doesn't. Pretty much all of these movie Optimus Prime figures, I don't know, not all of them, but a lot of them don't have waist joint. I don't know. I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest. But if you are, then that's something you should know about. His leg kind of moves up and down in here. But his leg goes forward that much. It goes back about that much before it starts messing with this rear bumper here. It will go out. The full Van Damme. He has a thigh swivel that's actually cut like right in here, which is kind of cool. Double bend at the knee, which allows him to bend most of the way. Like a real significant bend there. His little knee guard thing is on a pivot, which allows it to move a little bit, but really it's supposed to stay out in the robot mode here. His ankles will tilt. Got some tilt to them, so you know it's a quality figure. We'll go forwards and backwards. No rotation. And again, I haven't had any problem with that in terms of posing him and setting him to do stuff and look cool. But just something to keep in mind that, oh, well, you're not going to be able to rotate his feet. But gosh, this figure just looks beautiful. This is the detailing on the inside of the arm, on the underside of the arm, on this panel here. Oh, another thing I should point out. So if you open this tab here and extend this out, then you can yank down this. And then you can yank down this. Come on. Bam. You can actually yank this down a little bit more. And he has this little die-cast metal matrix of leadership or whatnot from the second Transformers movie. No. Third. I lied. Third Transformers movie. The last of the good ones. I mean, not that Revenge of the Fallen was really all that good, but, you know, there we go. And there it is. It's the appropriate size to be held by Optimus. But, you know, Sam isn't going to hold it if there was a Masterpiece scaled Sam, which there really isn't. So let me cram that back into there. I don't like taking this thing out because it doesn't really do anything, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to take out and to put back in. So, whatever. I'll close that back up. Matrix of Leadership. There you got it. Anyhow, to get him transformed up, gosh, I just undid that. Let's start with the legs. Let's go ahead and open up this panel here. We're going to disconnect this we're going to pull on his heel till that disconnects. Then we're going to pull out this panel here. His leg actually transforms very much like the old Revenge of the Fallen leader class Optimus Prime toy. Like, very similar. Like, this panel really is the only major difference. This panel now is going to come back up to where it was basically. This is going to fold in. There's a spot that it tabs into on the knee, and that fits pretty flush. The leg is going to, you're going to rotate this right here. There's a tab. There's a tab on this wheel well, and there's a slot beside it. That tab is going to slide into that slot like so. And then there's a tab right here that's going to fit into a slot right here. Like so. Come on, don't fight me, man. Like so. Yeah. And that's the leg. It's basically done. Open up this. Pull this out. Extend out the heel. Straighten out the foot. Fold this back up. Put this tab in place. Put this tab in place. Fold up the foots. Whoops. Fold out the grill. Fold up the foots. Put this tab in place. Alrighty, now he's like really, really tall. Alright, for the chest, what we're going to do is we're going to open up this, and that's going to allow us to pull on these and pull this out like that. And then we're going to extend this as we pull it out, so it kind of sits out straight like that. Same with the other side. Bring it through, extend it out, have them sit like that. We're going to take these parts here, we're going to fold them up and then come down. There's like a little double hinge in here. We're going to fold it up on the outer joint and fold it down on the inner joint so it sits properly. Make sure his face is facing forward. This is going to extend out. We're going to put his arms out to a tree pose and then disconnect them from the shoulders like so. Now that we've got this set up, we're going to work onto the back. Disconnect these here. There's little tabs that keep them in place. We're going to straighten out these wheel well covers. They're just going to extend out and extend out. And then they're going to rotate here. And then they're going to rotate here. Like so. So again, with this side, extend out, rotate, rotate. That's basically it right there. Now, coming back to the front, these are going to just pull straight up. They are tabbed in. There's little tabs that go into slots here. They're going to pull straight up, and you'll notice that on the back, there's these slots right here and these tabs right here. They're going to slide in like so. See that? And come back and fit onto those tabs. Like that. That's going to allow these two halves to tab together. And that's that for you. Now we're cooking with gas. We're going to bend him at his hips. And then we're going to take this section here. We're going to basically pull it forward like that and then lift it all up. We're going to take this. I like to kind of open this and then use that to pull this out, because this will need to be pulled out. And then this whole upper assembly here is going to disconnect on this hinge. And it's going to straighten out. And now we're getting someplace. We're going to bend this right here. And now let's focus on the arms, because the arms are the biggest thing that's getting in our way right now. For the arms, this panel is going to pull up and then come around. So it's going to yank up and twist around. This one here is going to pull up, twist around. These panels, they kind of fit in a little bit, but yeah, you don't really need to worry about them right now. This thingamajig here is going to come around like that. Come around like that. And then this part is going to extend up on this joint, and then this is actually an own little separate thing, and it's going to move forward. Similarly, you're going to take this whole thing and move this out like that. And let's show it again on the other side. This whole thing is going to move forwards, and then this whole thing is going to move up like that. Now you're going to take these things here that stuck up above his shoulders, and these are going to fold in on these spots right here. Now we can take these and plug his arms together. There's going to be a tab and a slot and a tab and a slot. And that's going to get those to go together, because there's also a couple little tabs on these panels here. All right. So now we've got this in this position. Make sure that his matrix is sitting basically as flat to his arms as it'll go. His head is going to go right into this cavity right here, like that. This armature is going to fit over his arms. You're going to have to kind of wiggle it around to get the tabs to go under and over the proper panels. But it should actually go in without any real fuss. Like so. That, I understand, is an improvement over the Hasbro Takara version, which had issues with getting all of this to fit properly. This one doesn't seem to be having that problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these smokestacks here. They're on this double joint. We're going to fold them up and fold them out like this. That gravity is doing its thing with that guy. Again, with this side, fold them up, fold them out like that. Now we're going to take this panel section here and extend this panel here, extend this panel here, and then this whole part is going to rotate, around and just kind of fit into there. And it doesn't clip into anything yet. There's actually a clip. You can see this tab down here at the bottom of the smokestack. That'll actually tab into there, kind of. And then do the same with the other side. So extend this panel here, extend this panel here, make this all flush. This is going to come around, and then this smokestack is going to tab in right there. Ish. There we go. Now we're going to take this panel here, rotate it around. You've got a couple tabs here. You've got a couple tabs here. We're going to make these tabs the very best of friends. Again with the other side, tabs, friends. All right, now we're starting to look like something. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these legs are tabbed together properly. There's a big tab right here and a couple smaller tabs down here on the front and the feet. Make sure those tab together. Make sure these tab together. Make sure all of this is fairly flush. Oops. And then we're just going to close this down. The things you need to be aware of, these tabs here are going to want to tuck under this grill. These tabs here are going to want to tuck into, there's little slots under here. There's slots here with tabs on the inside of these containers. And that's the sets that we're focusing on right now. So kind of wiggle this into place. Now, I knew that this transformation was going to be complex, and so I actually transformed this a whole bunch of times in the days since I got this, and just so that I can make sure that, you know, when it came time to shoot the video, like I knew what I was doing, and it didn't, like, you know, come all stupid on me. Because the last thing you guys want to do is watch me, like, sit here and be a doofus, you know. Though, I mean, let's be honest, I generally am a doofus. What can I say? There we go. Peg that in. Peg that in. But I guess really what I'm getting at is, I mean, I've transformed this probably close to a dozen times, and there's very little paint wear. There's basically no chipping. Like, it's all really solid. It's all still gorgeous. It's all just phenomenal looking. Like, I am super impressed with this figure all the way across the board. Get these tabbed in here. The camera doesn't seem to want to record more than 25 minutes at a time, which means it's a challenge to me to, hey, you have to get this done in 25 minutes, or you're going to have to go and paste it into an editing software and stitch everything together. But I don't feel like it's in anybody's best interest to cheap out on the transformation. Like, you got to know how to transform it. And like I've said before, like, I mean, I think that there's really two reasons why people look at these guides. What is not fitting? One is to say, hey, you know, this is the figure and this is what I think about it, and you know, to listen to somebody else's opinion on the specific figure. And I think the second reason is to, you know, it's kind of like a transformation guide. This is how you make it work. And these tabs right here, gonna plug those in. Something in here is not 100%. It's about 99%, but it's not 100%. I'm not sure what it is, and I'd have to untransform the whole thing to get that cleaned up properly. So I'm just not gonna worry about it. I think it's pretty good. Just a matter of lining everything up, getting everything looking good. We're gonna take this headache bar or headache panel, pull that up, extend out his smokestacks. When you're pulling on the smokestacks, you know to stop when you start seeing all this detail come out. And there he is in his truck mode. Put this back in place. Put this back into place. Tilt the camera down so we can get a good look at him. And he looks great. And this model especially, this figure looks really, really good because the red is this like really nice glossy red, and the blue is this like gorgeous like metallic blue, and the silver is all like wonderfully painted. And look, his fuel tank looks the same on both sides. These little headlight portions here are die cast. They're painted silver on this. They are not painted silver on the Hasbro version. They are bare metal. All of the die cast on these movie Masterpiece ones has been bare metal. I actually just ordered a Masterpiece Barricade, and I'm already thinking that someday I may upgrade that to, I guess it's not these guys that are doing the high quality repaint of him, but another company that they may all just be in bed with each other. I'm not sure, but he looks great. All of his wheels sit on the ground, more or less. There's a little bit of torsional aberration in here. There we go. He rolls well. He looks great. I'm super impressed by this. Looks fantastic. He does have a thing where you can take these swords and you can plug them on like so. There's these tabs right here that go into these slots on the gun. Plug them in like so, and then you can take this panel right here and plug it in like so. Or maybe like so. I think it looks flippin' retarded. I didn't bring down my MP10 trailer, but he does have these two long tabs, and I looked at that, I was like, man, does that actually fit with the MP10 trailer? That's not something that I remember seeing advertised. But yes, you can plug the MP10 trailer into him. It looks a little short on this particular truck, but you know, it looks good. But yeah, there he is, and this figure is so nice. And oh, by the way, not only does it look so much better than the official one, it's cheaper too. Not that I mean, I don't know. On the one hand, I want to say I don't really I advocate giving Hasbro and Takara our money so that they like, yeah, Transformers is you know, makes a lot of money, and we should, you know, make high quality Transformers for people still. I want that to continue, but on the other hand, like this is a real masterpiece. Like, it's not just masterpiece level engineering, which is what the Hasbro and Takara one had. Like, this is a masterpiece level paint job as well. And I just really wish that they understood. And you can, by the way, you can see right through that part right there. I just really wish that somebody understood that, you know, a good paint job can make or break your figure. No matter how good your sculpt is, you know, a good paint job can make a figure worth having. And I absolutely feel that the original, the Hasbro version, I looked at it, I held it in my hands, I didn't like it. This one, I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's just because it looks great. Anyhow, that's my 2 bits worth. Everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are all fantastic, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. See ya.